The first memory I have of any type of literacy was sitting in kindergarten on the first or second day of school. We were on the carpet, I was wearing these really colorful Skechers that matched my outfit, and our teacher was pointing to this giant paper chart and walking us through the alphabet. I don't remember learning the alphabet, but I do remember that at this age, I knew it front to back and back to front, and I'd been practicing with my mom since I was old enough to speak. This might be one of my absolute first memories that didn't involve the easiest things for humans to remember, trauma. The one before this was when I was 3 and my little sister fell down the stairs. And I don't know why I remember it so vividly, when really, nothing happened except the realization that kindergarten was going to suck if my classmates didn't even know the friggin' alphabet yet. I came here to learn something new, not learn the ABCs all over again. My second memory of literacy was a speech I gave in 2nd grade about the rainforest and macaws. I presented it in front of all the parents, and I remember the adults talking about how articulate I was. In that same year, we also had reading contests where we kept track of our time using bookmarks. I won the prize and was so excited to show everyone I was a better reader than they were. Of course, I was only a faster reader, not better, and honestly, the adults could have come up with a smarter way to motivate us to read, because let me tell you, I was the only one motivated to read after that. In 4th grade, we took the FCAT Writes. By then, I had accumulated the idea that I was an incredible writer, speaker, and reader, because it was what everyone told me I was good at. Only because I was a little faster than average. Little hint here for parents. If you tell your child they're good at something, even if they're only mediocre, more than likely they'll become good at it because they will ignore other ventures in favor of improving their skills at what they're told they're talented at to seek praise and validation. And, as everyone knows, practice makes perfect, so sooner or later they actually will be good at it as they get older. In this sense, kids are completely unprepared to fail because they're only doing what they're good at. If you couldn't guess already, I failed the FCAT Writes. I read the prompt wrong and it was all over for me. The thing I had been told I was good at, I didn't succeed in. You should have seen my classmates' faces when they realized the best reader in the class didn't pass. I spent the next several years trying to prove the test's results wrong. I practiced reading, writing, and speaking until I was confident in my skills again. Then AR test came around, where we were forced to read and take an online quiz on what we read in order to continue on to the next grade, and for the first time in my life, I hated reading. AR tests were the absolute worst because instead of enjoying reading, we had to read as if we needed to know every detail on the book so that we could pass a test. It took all the fun out of it. None of my favorite books were on the AR list, so I read books I hated and learned nothing from them through the cloud of anger I gathered as I passed the test. My favorite book series, and books that weren't on the AR list, was Animorphs. It was about this group of kids who gained the ability to morph into animals because these good aliens, who had been fighting against this awful race of slug-like aliens, wanted Earth to be able to protect itself from the infestation of bad aliens who had already taken over the brains of a good chunk of the population. The characters were so well written, and the author was a genius at keeping a kid of 8 to 15 years of age entertained. At this age, around 4th grade, I also tried to read Harry Potter, but ended up not liking it. I like it now, but back then it seemed weird to me for some reason, and I only wanted to read it to prove I could read such a big book. My friend even introduced me to Hunger Games long before it was popular, and when we both wished we had more people to talk about it with. So, during this time, before and a bit during the AR era, I was reading fiction, but most of the things AR required you to read felt like non-fiction. So out of pure spite, I stopped reading, or exclusively stuck to extremely fictional works. It kind of sucked, too, because I had always been known as the smart kid for reading so much. I was the English language arts whiz, and it was pretty much the only thing I knew how to be good at because it was the direction I was steered in as a child. When I went to high school, AP courses changed my life, particularly one book called The Poisonwood Bible. It was about a Christian family with immense power imbalances due to the sexist nature of the husband, traveling to the Congo to try and liberate the natives from their savage ways. It didn't go as well as the family thought it would. I put so many bookmarks on its pages because every single word written was pure genius. I could take any sentence from the book and it would be a life-changing quote, a new perspective. The coursework, the books, and actually having teachers who liked their jobs and cared about their students was what helped spark my interest in reading, writing, and speaking again. I'm even in the process of writing a YA novel, under the suggestions of my peers and former professors. So, all in all, I didn't start my literacy journey out of pure personal interest, but at least I came to enjoy it in the end. My personal advice: be careful how you encourage your child's interests, and make sure you teach them it's okay to fail as long as they are continuously trying new things. A test does not determine your entire child's future, and neither should only one of their skills.